This is Talk Business and Politics with Roby Brock.
I'm Roby Brock. Welcome to Talk Business and Politics Daily. It's Tuesday, August 23rd. Let's check out today's top stories.
The Arkansas teacher retirement system is doing more than managing stock portfolios for retired educators. Talk Business and Politics' Wesley Brown reports that teacher retirement's increasingly looking for investment deals across the state. Executive Director George Hopkins says a number of deal flow opportunities have been approaching the retirement fund, which in the past was mostly known for its good and not so good real estate deals. The system's ratcheted up the number of new investments in Arkansas, ranging from startups to investments in multi-billion-dollar industrial projects. Read more at talkbusiness.net. Talk Business and Politics' monthly energy report is out. The natural gas energy sector continues to struggle in Arkansas and nationwide, with state severance tax revenue down almost 60% to just $31.8 million last year. In the first month of the new fiscal year, which began on July 1st, severance tax collections only amounted to $1.76 million. That's down nearly 50% from last July. Arkansas's banking sector has seen improved profits amid lower loan delinquencies, rising real estate prices, and growing demand for commercial and residential construction sectors. But three small banks continue to struggle with triple-digit Texas ratios through the first half of 2016. Texas ratios refer to the amount of non-performing loans divided by loan reserves and capital equity. A ratio more than 100 is considered a warning sign and indication of credit troubles. While Pinnacle Bank in Rogers and Heartland Bank in Bryant continue to have Texas ratios slightly above 100%, Allied Bank in Mulberry is in the most serious situation with a ratio more than triple the caution level of 379%.
And those are your top stories of the day. You can check out a full read on those articles and much more at our website at talkbusiness.net. Still to come, what's on Senator Jim Hendren's agenda for the next legislative session? We'll go inside the numbers for a look at three numbers that had an impact on business. And when it comes to the presidential race, what does Politico's Katie Glick say to watch out for in September and October? We'll find out when we come back.
First Security is here. Only here. So that means we're here, here, and here. Even here. And definitely here. Because here is where we want to be for you. First Security Bank. Only in Arkansas.
At Deltic Timber Corporation, we believe in the responsible creation of communities, in the development of neighborhoods that bring convenience and comfort to life, while respecting the beauty and delicacy of nature. Like the harmonious balance of environment and expansion found in the thriving communities of Chenal Valley and Chenal Downs in Little Rock and Red Oak Ridge in Hot Springs. Because the best communities in the natural state are the ones that help keep it that way.
Over the past year and a half, state lawmakers have been meeting to discuss changes to Arkansas's Medicaid program. That includes traditional Medicaid and the private option, soon to be known as Arkansas Works.
All right, Senator Hendren, let's begin with you're a fighter pilot. What kind of jet do you fly?
Well, I flew F-15s. They don't let guys my age fly much anymore, so now I tell all those young kids where to fly, but I used to fly the F-15 Eagle.
If you could fly any jet that you wanted to, would it be the F-15 or would there be another one you'd like to try to fly?
I would like a shot at the F-22. The Raptor is quite an airplane, but the F-15 is still, as far as I'm concerned, the undisputed king.
All right, so we have heard that insurance rates in Arkansas will be allowed to go up some from the insurance commissioner, but maybe not as much as the insurance companies would like. Are you worried about the viability of the insurance exchanges as a result of what you're seeing?
Yes. I've said all along that if we do not have flexibility to put real-world, common-sense controls on these programs, they're going to get too costly. We did that, and we turned this teacher's insurance program around because we didn't have to ask the federal government's permission. But in this situation, we've asked for several things, and the federal government has said no. to the same type of proposals that are done in the private business all the time. So yeah, if the federal government does not give us some flexibility on both the expansion policies and the exchange policies, I think it is going to spin out of control.
You have been knee-deep in healthcare policy for the better part of a year and a half here. Heading into the 2017 session, do you think you might find some other hobby to participate in terms of legislation?
I hope so. Healthcare is important. It is an important issue, and I'm glad to have an opportunity to try to make things work in Arkansas. But yeah, I'm ready for some other issues, and I think we'll see those. You know, I've been involved in some other issues, but not to the depth that I have this one.
Well, give me one that you think that you would like to sink your teeth into a little deeper.
I would like to sink my teeth into figuring out a way to be smart about tax cuts. So not just passing tax cuts, but also passing some spending reductions so that we can have responsible growth. We can not do things that really have a detriment on the people of Arkansas because of unrealistic cuts. But yet we can get rid of some things that need to be gotten rid of, and then afford tax cuts in a responsible way. So I'm going to be working hard on the budget and the tax code.
All right, in your plastics business, you are planning an expansion, maybe adding a few employees, definitely some square footage. Tell me a little bit about that, and tell me what is so good about the climate right now that's allowing for expansion.
Well, Arkansas is not a bad place to do business. I mean, I have friends in the plastics business in Texas and South Carolina and Georgia. We get together, and when we compare notes, Arkansas is still a very business-friendly place, even compared to Texas, which people tend to think of Texas as business-friendly. So we've had good success working with the state. They've done a good job of shielding us from some of the federal overreach. So we're fortunate. We're in an industry. Construction's beginning to come back. We provide a lot of the materials to build boat docks and marinas, and the business is good. So we're at 19,000 square feet and getting ready to probably create another 15 new jobs. So that's exciting.
Simone Biles, you noted in your Twitter feed about a week ago, has a move named after her in gymnastics. If there was going to be a move named after Jim Hendren in either flight school or the legislature, what would the move be?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I don't know. I used to be call sign Opie because I was a kid from the hills who didn't seem to take things too seriously, and I think that may be the way I try to approach politics. It's important business, but you got to keep it in perspective.
That's Senator Jim Hendren, Republican from Sulphur Springs. Now, later in the week, we'll catch up with Representative Reggie Murdoch, Democrat from Marianna. A word from our sponsors. We'll highlight the latest from our manufacturing microsite. We'll also visit with Katie Glick of Politico for the latest on the presidential race. We're back after this.
Each day, the promise of our nation begins again. Arkansas and America moving forward. I help make that promise a reality. It's not for everyone, but people everywhere depend on us.
Oh, I love you too, sweetie.
Trucking delivers, or everything stops. And that's what drives me.
I did.
As Arkansas's population grows, so do our energy demands. But with the right mix of resources, reliable, affordable power will always be a reality. These resources are all around us in our rivers, blowing through our trees, even right below our feet. The answer isn't focusing on one resource, it's embracing them all. The electric cooperatives of Arkansas know that a balanced approach to power builds our communities and powers our dreams. Visit themixmatters.com and see why there's power in knowledge.
Time now to go inside the numbers for a look at three numbers that had an impact on business this past week. We'll start with $131.6 million. The University of Arkansas finished the 2016 fiscal year with $131.6 million in private gift support, making it the third best year in the university's fundraising history and the sixth year in a row to total more than $100 million in private gift support for students, faculty, capital projects, and programs. The original goal, $115 million, so you can see they beat that. 25 and 30, that's the number of jobs expected to be created by two announcements last week. 25 jobs at Pinnacle Foods in Fayetteville and 30 jobs over the next 5 years for Mainstream Technologies in Conway. Not huge quantity numbers, but definitely quality numbers. One 1.6%. That's the percentage increase for same-store sales reported in Walmart's latest quarterly earnings report. That 1.6% marks the 8th consecutive quarter of positive comp store sales for Walmart. It was one of the reasons that the retail giant saw an 8.6% increase in profits last quarter. Now, you can catch information like this in our daily reporting at talkbusiness.net. Check out our website for stories on Walmart, job announcements, and much more. A quick break, and we're back with Katie Glick from Politico.com. What does she say we should watch for in the final 80 days of the presidential race? Find out after this.
Circuits turn on the lights by making a connection, by closing the loop. At Entergy, we believe our economy is circular too. What you put in comes back. So we invest billions in new infrastructure, which helps attract new industry, which helps create new jobs. We partner with local communities to electrify the economy. And together, we power life. Entergy.
You've likely heard of the Great Arkansas Treasure Hunt. In fact, you or your business may have property to claim in the hunt. But where does this treasure come from? Businesses like yours. The law calls it unclaimed property. If your business is holding money on its books that you've not been able to return to the owner, it's most likely unclaimed property, and the law requires it to be sent to the state auditor's office each year. Auditor Andrea Lee's office can make the process for businesses to comply with the law easy and straightforward. Help us help you return Arkansans' unclaimed property at auditor.ar.gov.
On Sunday's TV edition of Talk Business and Politics, we were joined by Katie Glick, national reporter for Politico. Katie also joined us previously at the GOP convention. Now, she's been knee-deep in the presidential campaign this year, crisscrossing the country to follow Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. She says we have this to watch for in the final few months of the campaign. I know it's been a crazy political year, but do you care to make any political predictions? Something that may happen in the next week, something that may happen between now and Election Day? Would you go out on a limb on anything?
Well, if I have learned anything this year, it is that it is a particularly dangerous year to make predictions of any sort. Every one I probably made it a year ago, I think is wrong at this point. So it's been a highly unpredictable year. One thing I would say to watch, and would stress this is not a prediction, but just something that I think is going to be really interesting is, what this map ultimately ends up looking like. Where are these campaigns actually fighting in October? For example, Hillary Clinton has stopped spending a ton of money in places like Colorado, Pennsylvania for now. Is that do those states which are traditional battlegrounds, do they end up being battlegrounds as we get closer to October and November or not? And we've seen a lot of talk about whether a place like Georgia is in play, for example. Is that actually in play? And as we get closer to the election, and Donald Trump has in the past talked about expanding the map, and his new team seems more interested theoretically in sort of shifting back to some of the more traditional battleground states. That's what they say. So does Trump ultimately end up expanding the map a little bit more? And if not, are they able to catch up to Clinton in some of these critical battleground states? So really fascinated to see where these campaigns are actually playing in October.
That's Katie Glick, national reporter for Politico. You can catch her great work at Politico.com each and every day, and you can see her full interview with me at TalkBusiness.net. That's all for today's Talk Business and Politics Daily. Thank you for watching. Check us out online at TalkBusiness.net for the latest in business and politics. Plus, you can follow us on Twitter at TB Arkansas or on Facebook or LinkedIn. Just plug in Talk Business and Politics to find us and follow. If you want to receive our daily email newsletters, they're free. You can receive them every morning in your inbox before 7 a.m. Just email me at roby@talkbusiness.net and I'll sign you up. And if you want to listen to a podcast of the show, perhaps on your commute to and from work, we're in the iTunes Store and on Stitcher, or you can just play us through your smartphone. I'm Roby Brock. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, take care.